How's it going, guys and girls? My name is Camel, and welcome back to The Elder Scrolls Online. I thought we would take a break from the weapon and armor styles. In this video, I'm going to attempt to educate you on researching trait gems and the potential benefits of researching and perhaps even putting skill points into some researching perks in the crafting skill trees. So I'll just tell you a bit about researching and traits first. What a trait is, it's a built-in, it's almost like an enchantment, it's like a built-in quality to an item. The trait is added to an item when the item is crafted or created. A trait on an item cannot be changed once the item is created, so if you have a trait on an item that you don't particularly like and you want to change the trait on that item, that's not going to happen. What you have to do is build a new item and in the process put the particular trait that you want on it. So unlike an enchantment, it sticks. But don't get confused, traits and enchantments are completely different things. You can have an enchantment and a trait on one item. Like I said, the trait is built in and the enchantment is something that you add on after it's created. And they're two completely different things. They coexist on one item. Now, if you wish to apply a certain trait to a certain item, so for example, if I want to apply, say, the Divine's trait to a heavy armor chest piece, a chorus, what I need to do is go out and find a heavy armor chest piece with the Divine's trait applied to it already. Then what I need to do is go to the appropriate crafting station. So in the case of a heavy armor chest piece, it will be a blacksmithing station. Then what I need to do is go across to the 5th tab, the research tab, and because the heavy armor chest piece is an apparel piece, I need to go to the apparel sub tab. Now in the trait line, I need to find the heavy armor chest piece, and as you can see there, it has a little number 1 at the bottom right hand corner of the picture of the chest piece. This means that in my inventory, there is one heavy armor chest piece that has a new researchable trait on it. A trait that I haven't yet researched on the heavy armor chest piece. So once I've selected the heavy armor chest piece in the trait line, when you have a look down the list of all the different traits that can be applied to a heavy armor chest piece, right at the bottom it says Divines. And if you go across to the right, it says researchable. This means that in my inventory, there is a heavy armor chest piece with the Divine's trait applied. So then all I need to do is go down, double click on Divines. It'll come up with a window in the middle of the screen with all of the items in my inventory that are a heavy armor chest piece and that have the Divine's trait applied. And of course, it's one piece, so all I need to do is select that item. And then click E or click on the Research Trait button. Then the researching process has begun. As you can see there, currently the researching time is 3 days, 14 hours, 23 minutes and 50 so seconds. As you research more and more items on a particular item, the researching times increase massively. There are a couple of ways to counter this, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. What I'm going to talk about now is the 8 different traits that you can apply to armor, and the 8 different traits that you can apply to weapons. For weapons, first we have Powered. It reduces the cooldown of weapon enchantments. This uses Kaiserlight. Next we have Charged, increases enchantment charges. This uses Amethyst. Next we have Precise, increases weapon and spell critical values. This uses Ruby. Next we have Infused, increases weapon enchantment effect. This uses Jade. Next we have Defending, increases total armor and spell resistance. This uses the Turquoise. Next we have Training, increases weapon skill line experience with this weapon type. This uses Carnelian. Next we have Sharpened, increases armor and spell penetration. This uses Fire Opal. And lastly we have Weighted, increases weapon attack speed. This uses Citron. So that's the 8 researchable traits that we have for weapons. It's for all weapons, bows, staffs, and all blacksmithing weapons. Now we'll go into the 8 armor traits. You can also apply these to shields. First up we have Sturdy, gives a chance to avoid decay when wielder is defeated. This uses Quartz. Next up we have Impenetrable, increases resistance to critical hits. This uses Diamond. Next we have Reinforced, increases this item's armor value. This uses Sardonyx. Next we have Well Fitted, reduces the cost of sprinting slightly. This uses Almandine. Next we have Training, increases armor skill line experience with this armor type. This uses Emerald. Next we have Infused, increases the item's armor enchantment effects. This uses Bloodstone. Next we have Exploration, increases exploration experience gained. This uses Garnet. And lastly we have Divines, increases Mundus Stone effects. This uses Sapphire. So there's all of the different traits and their corresponding trait gems. Now I want to show you that when you increase the quality of an item, it increases the power or the effect of the trait that's on that item. So just for an example here, what I'm going to do is create a level 34 or a calc chorus, the Impenetrable trait applied. Don't forget, as you can see in the 4th trait line, it uses a diamond to apply this trait. As you can see, the item description down the bottom, it says Impenetrable increases resistance to critical hits by 60. So what I'm going to do is create that item, and then we're going to go over to the improvement tab, and I'll show you that when you change the quality of an item, it increases the effect of the trait. So going from white to green, as you can see, the green one, Impenetrable, increases resistance to critical by 70. And then going from green to blue, we can see Impenetrable increases resistance to critical hits by 80, and so on. It goes up and up all the way to legendary. So the difference in trait effect between, say, a full set of armor that's white and a full set of legendary armor, it's going to bring so many more points to whatever trait you chose to put on the items. Now there's 112 traits that can be researched at a blacksmithing station, 112 traits that can be researched at a clothing station, and 48 traits that can be researched at a woodworking station. So there's a lot of traits to be researched. And as you saw with the chest piece, the more you research, the longer the next research is going to take. So how do we counteract this? Just as an example here, I'm going to use the blacksmithing skill tree. If we come down to the 5th skill line that we can put skill points into, metallurgy. Clothing and woodworking have an exact same thing in their skill trees. They're just called something different. And of course, you know, the woodworking one will affect researching at a woodworking station, and so on. So if we have a look here, as you can see, reduces research times by 10% and allows the research of 2 items at once. Now when you do 3 out of 3 in this, it reduces research times by 15% and allows the research of 3 items at once. So not only are you reducing the research time, you're then able to research 3 items at once, essentially tripling your productivity when it comes to researching traits. But it's even more than tripling because it's reducing the research time as well. So not only are you researching more items at once, but you're researching them in less time. And you might think 10%, meh. But when it comes down to the last researching trait, which takes like a month or something like that, or a week, reducing it by 10 or 15% is you know, like a day or something. It's a huge difference. So it's definitely worth putting points into this. And something you should remember is that once you have completed researching every trait on every item, you can reset your skills and not put the points back into this because you've finished researching. You don't need those skill points in this particular skill line anymore. You will still keep all of the traits that you have researched. So if you do eventually end up researching everything, I would suggest that you reset your skills and get these 9 skill points back. So we'll just go back to near the start of the video when I decided to research the Divine's trait on the heavy armor chest piece. And as you saw, it was going to take 3 days, 14 hours, 24 minutes, and however many seconds. And as you can see there, the Divine's researching has got 33 minutes left on the clock. So in 33 minutes, I will have researched the Divine's trait on the heavy armor chest piece. So once that's done, I can create heavy armor chest pieces, and I have the option to apply the Divine's trait to them. Now, something a lot of people don't know is that when you complete researching a trait, you get a big chunk of experience towards that particular crafting skill. So as you can see there, there's 33 minutes left, and if we look up in the experience bar, I have blacksmithing 9,623 out of 86,360. So I'm going to go watch Game of Thrones, and in an hour we'll come back and I'll show you the experience difference. So here we are an hour later, back at the blacksmithing station. Researching the Divine's trait on the chest piece is complete, and now if we look up at the experience bar, we have 21,407 out of 86,360. So we've gained like 12,000 experience towards the blacksmithing skill up. So there is that benefit to it. There is the obvious benefit of having the freedom to customize and apply different traits to pretty much any item you want. And there are other little benefits, like you might see someone in chat who says, want to buy heavy armor chest piece with Divine's trait, paying 2,000 gold. Because what they want a heavy armor chest piece with Divine's trait so they can research it and then apply it themselves. So you can just bang together an iron heavy armor chest piece and apply the Divine's trait. It's cost you next to nothing, and then you can sell it to the guy for 2,000 gold. Not bad at all. And I think that's it for the researching and traits and trait gems. Oh, I should just say that you can get trait gems from, you can get them from hirelings, you can get them from deconstructing items with a trait. So if you have an armor piece with the sturdy trait applied, you then deconstruct that item, you will have a chance of gaining that trait gem. So for sturdy on armor, it's quartz. would be the trait gem that you might get back from deconstructing an armor piece with a sturdy trait. And you can also get them from refining raw materials. So yeah, that is really everything I can think to tell you in regards to researching traits and trait gems. I really hope that this video helped you out. I'm sorry if it came across as a bit confusing. I did find it quite difficult to explain accurately how the researching and the traits worked, but hopefully I got it across in a clear enough manner. So please leave a like if this video did help you out. It would help me out a lot. Share this video amongst your guildmates and friends. Leave a comment if you have any questions that I haven't quite answered, if you have any video requests, or if you just have any information that could help myself or any other players. Like I said, please feel free to leave a comment. And as always, if you did like this video and you would like more videos similar to this one, please subscribe. I would like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you there. See you guys.